Welcome to your viewers and parents. It's my honor and privilege to welcome Dr. Lalita Apachu, who has been associated with us for the past almost about 11 years. And in fact, I've been asking her to give a small pep talk for all the dedicated parents who wants to take to the next level in the parenting domain. She is the founder director of training organization CFTE, Center for Training Excellence in Bangalore. And she holds a doctoral degree in English from Bangalore University. She is extremely passionate about teaching and training. Okay, and she's got 35 years of experience in teaching, and she began her career as a lecturer in 1985 in Vivipuram College of Science College in Bangalore. She went abroad in 1994 to work with the Ministry of Education, Sultanate of Oman. She returned back to India in 1999. She worked as an editor for 2 years, has been into training since 2002. Okay. And she's conducted more than 3,000 workshops and training programs for corporate organizations, educational institutions, NGOs, parents, and college students. And she's also authored many books in the preschool education. Okay, and her focus of areas include designing and implementation of workshops, long as well as short-term training programs for educational and corporate organization. She designs curriculum and syllabus. Okay, most of the schools in Bangalore, they're using her curriculum for phonetics. Okay. And without much ado, I just want to get started with you. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to our board. Welcome on board.
Thank you for having me.
I just want to take on a little bit of your insight on early child development and how parents play a major role in giving a strong foundation to their children more than teachers. We all have heard mother is the first teacher, home is the first school. But I just wanted to hear from you. What are your insights on that?
First and foremost, let me thank Parenting for You for giving me this platform to reach out to your parents. I've always been very passionate about being able to help parents become better parents, primarily because, I didn't have that platform. And I think if I had had a platform, I might have been a better parent. So I don't want them to make some of the mistakes perhaps that I made. I always welcome platforms that give me an opportunity to reach out to parents. That said, let's get back to the question that you asked, how that little child's brain is so important. Now, 0 to 5 years is a time when the brain is developing rapidly. In fact, 90% of the brain develops between the ages of 0 to 5. In fact, the child begins to learn in the fetus itself. Oh. And there is an amazing program also called In the Womb program that helps parents stimulate the child in the womb. Okay, that is a different program altogether, but let's come to programs.
We have the program incorporated in our, it's part of our program as well.
Oh, I think it's excellent because once the child in the womb, the mother crosses the first trimester, that is once the mother is 6 months pregnant, she could think of going in for this kind of a program to stimulate the child. But once the child is born, there are amazing things that parents can do to stimulate that brain development. And in the brain, there is something called neural connections that are forming at a very rapid rate when the child is very young.
Exactly.
And parents, they need to stimulate the brain so that these neural connections develop at a very rapid rate. And research has shown that the more complex these neural connections, the more intelligent and the more intuitive and the more well-developed the child is. So, the parents' role cannot be underestimated. And the parents play a much more important role than teachers because, remember, the child is only in the preschool for 2 to 3 hours. The rest of the time...
My next question to you.
And the rest of the time, the child is with the parent. And there is so much a parent can do to stimulate the child throughout the day. And we are not just talking only about paper pencil stimulation, getting the child to help in the house, taking the child out and getting the child to observe nature, describing things. Yes. And making sure that all the child's senses are stimulated. So there is so much that the parent can do to give your child that edge, that extra advantage before the child even steps into preschool. And parents must remember that after 5 years, these neural connections begin to slow down. throughout our life, we are developing neural connections. But after 5 years, they begin to slow down.
Pruning
Yes, it's called a pruning kind of a thing. So I think it really is very important for a parent to start stimulating the child right from the first month onwards. By using different kinds of sensory stimulation, kits and flashcards. A child before the age of 5 is very focused. What is in front of the child just focuses on it and pays attention to it. But after 5 years, the mind is much more distracted. And parents need to take advantage of this aspect of the child's psychology. When it is so focused.
One of the major complaints what they have, which we have seen generally, is my child doesn't have concentration and focus. It never sits in a place. That's a myth, right?
Now, that is an art, if you keep on giving the same thing to the child, a child gets bored. So the secret is, for 1 minute, stimulate and then change it. So you keep stimulating, and every minute you keep changing the stimulation. And a little child cannot take more than, maximum is a 5 minute. 5 minute attention span that the child had. I would say 3 minutes. So if you're expecting...
One of the examples what we generally give to our parents also is like buying a toy. So when you spend, let's say, 1,000 rupees toy and buy a toy for your child, the lifespan of the toy is only for about 10-15 minutes.
Not even that.
Not even that. Instead of spending 1,000 rupees and buying a toy, we encourage parents to buy 100 rupees toy, 10 numbers.
Exactly. So that there's more stimulation. There is more stimulation for the child.
Engagement. The child is happy, and you are also saving money. So ultimately, for you, it is 1,000 rupees. For the child, it is only one toy.
One toy, and then it's always best to buy break toys that the child can break apart and put together. And that is why children love Lego toys. Lego toys what they can build, rather than giving them fixed toys. Always try to give them toys they can take apart and put together. And that really stimulates the child's brain. So I would say that, the parents' role in stimulating the child is very, very important. And it is something that parents really should focus on and pay attention to.
With your experience, ma'am, I just want to ask one thing. What is the percentage of parents who are aware of all these things?
I would say about 1%, if at all.
Less than more than.
Absolutely no.
We get a lot of references from the parents who already taken this program. They refer this program to other friends and relatives and neighbors. One of the major challenges what we find is, why all that? My child is only small. My child is too small. Why all that norm itself? Anyway, the child goes to the school and they learn everything.
That's an amazing question. No, that's an amazing question. Because, it is said that the younger the child, the easier to teach. So it is easier to teach a 1-year-old child than a 2-year-old child. It is easier to teach a 2-year-old child than a 3-year-old child.
Okay.
Easier to teach a 3-year-old child than a 4-year-old child. Now, when we say teaching,
we mean more. Teach people.
No, I feel I would like to use the word conditioning. That is the better word I would use. It is easier to condition a child who is younger, and the sooner a parent begins, it is better, because then the child is conditioned to focus, conditioned to learn, conditioned to try new things, conditioned to experiment, conditioned not to be afraid of failure, and that can begin at a very, very young age. And these are not things that preschools teach. Preschools will teach them ABCD and, math and social science and coloring and handwriting. But these are only some parts of the skills that a child needs to be learning. There's so much a child needs to learn. And that only a parent can do. And, there is just so much that a school can do. And I think parents really need to be aware of this.
Okay. Yeah. So, Anne, can you hear me? I think we just lost.
Yes.
Yeah. See, and another thing is that what is the kind of message you want to give to those parents who say that, we have a lot of grandparents. Ours is, it's not a nuclear family, wherein we have a lot of grandparents are there, it's joint family, and we have so many people who are there with us to give the support to the child development. We don't require any additional support. Okay. And that is one thing. And second thing is that how is it different in today's context of parenting compared to when we were young and when we were toddlers? How is it different? Here's what the parenting.
grandparents are an amazing component in the child's life.
Yeah.
They enrich the child's life. They give a lot of inputs that parents cannot give. But unfortunately, a large part of that also comes with pampering, over pampering, I would say. Huh?
Yeah.
And the discipline component tends to take a back seat.
In fact,
So-
we were contemplating to have a separate session only for the grandparents.
Yeah, that is very important. That's very
Yeah.
important. So, grandparents can bring a lot of cultural enrichment and a lot of security and a lot of love, unconditional love that is so important for a child, which grandparents can give. But I think the challenge here is to sort of make sure that there is also that component of discipline that allows the child to know, to know where a line should not be crossed. And discipline really makes a child feel secure. When there are boundaries, a child feels secure. And so it should be I think the challenge for parents who live with their in-laws or with their parents is to know where to have a mix and match of grandparental interference in the parenting aspect, and where to draw the line and gently explain to grandparents, no, there is this is a way that I would like to raise my child, because it's important to give grandparents reasons, because they feel that they have a right over the grandchild. And many of them feel very offended when their son or their daughter-in-law or their son-in-law or their daughter says, no, this is not the way things should be done, because they feel that they have already raised children and they know how to do it. But then, they're not aware of the fact that things have changed. The world has changed, and there are many things that a little child needs to be taught or be trained in or be conditioned to, that really did not matter when
we were
kids. Exactly, when we were children or when grandparents were parents. So this is where the parent will really have to walk a kind of a tightrope, a kind of how much of grandparental interference should be allowed and how much of disciplining has to be done, and this has to be made quite clear to grandparents. But I feel that having a grandparent is a wonderful thing for a child, because it gives a child a security and a love that I think parents I don't think can give. It's a different kind of a love altogether, grandparents' love.
And what is propagating along with that is, notwithstanding that we have the support of grandparents and elders in our family, learning of the new methods and techniques for our children in today's context, day and age, has to be implemented with parents. So that is
I agree with you completely.
Need to be open-minded, correct?
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Example, what I have is, I don't even remember how many times we were beaten when I was a small child. They're getting beaten up by elders, or everybody used to beat us. We used to be staying in a joint family. You go to a teacher, the teachers are beating us. But in today's day and age, that is totally irrelevant. We can't even raise our voice against our kids.
Yes.
We can't even talk to them in a higher tone, because emotional quotient of the children in today's days is far lesser compared to when we were kids. Okay?
Now, I would like to add something to that. I feel that respecting our child is a very large component in developing the self-esteem of a child. I mean, if you go back to the way we were spoken to, respect really was not a component in the way we were treated. And exactly. I think that also has had an effect on our self-esteem. And I don't think we should be that cruel to our children.
Exactly.
And respect, one secret to motivation is, if a person treats me with respect, then I want to listen to that person. Then I want to do the things that the person tells me to do. And I want to ask parents, do we really treat our children with respect? Do we talk to them with respect? The secret to get your child to listen to you is treat your child with respect. Talk to your child with respect. Make your child feel valued, and your child will listen to you. You don't have to shout. You don't have to use abusive language. And above all, you don't have to be physically abusive. Respect, respect, respect. That's all a human being is asking for. And that is the secret.
Okay. Thanks a lot with that. And what is your couple of recommendations of, we've been associated together for almost about 11 years, and you've been one of our forefront professionals who we invite. We have been in this domain of parenting, wherein we provide the flashcards and the stimulation material to the children. And apart from that, we also bring professionals and expertise like you to a platform wherein the parents are getting exposed to your experience. That is one of the major things what we've been contributing, because we want parents, mother is the first teacher, home is the first school, and we want every parent to be aware of how they can contribute for their children. Otherwise, the normal mindset is, okay, my child, I'm spending 1 lakh or 2 lakhs, the child goes to the school, the teachers do everything there. And we believe that a parent can contribute more than what a teacher can do. That is how we have started our journey together, and you've been part of many of our counseling sessions and workshops. And what is your message when it comes to be associated with our organization, Parenting for You?
Platforms like Parenting for You, they really help a parent to streamline, I'm using the word streamline, their parenting skills. They have these vague ideas that they have picked up from their parents, maybe their own grandparents, maybe reading things from the internet, maybe Googling. But then, it's all a kind of, in patches, in bits and pieces. Now, but a platform like Parenting for You stitches it all together and, makes it easy for a parent to, get their parenting act together, I would say. Get their parenting act together, number one. Number two, they have a platform where they can clarify doubts, where they can have their questions answered.
They can discuss, they can debate.
Discuss.
Professionals.
Yeah, and share ideas with other parents. And plus, with a lot of materials, they will know how to stimulate their child mentally, emotionally, physically, maybe even spiritually. And, they learn good parenting skills and they can raise emotionally secure children, which really is the key focus of parenting. Because if your child is emotionally secure, happy and confident, that really is the key to success. You don't need anything else. Your child will be successful if your child is confident, emotionally secure, and a happy child. Academics comes second. I always say academics comes second. First, let your child be emotionally secure, happy, and confident. And I think for parents to be able to achieve this goal, platforms like Parenting for You are so important, because you'll bring in experts who give them tips. Do this. Don't do this. These things would benefit your child. This would be potentially harmful. Yeah, exactly. So they really know, whether what they're doing is right or whether what they're doing is wrong. And those flashcards and things like that, they really build a child's memory power. They enhance the child's memory power, which later on stands them in good stead when they go to school. This will really help them when they go to a preschool.
Neuroplasticity.
Exactly. It enhances their memory skills and their ability to retain information. And parenting is an art. It is an art. You need to learn it. You're not born with that skill. And, a platform like Parenting for You will help them to hone their skills and to become better parents. And my advice to parents is, please focus on being a good parent. Because I find that these days parents have too many other distractions, especially digital distractions. That is number one. Number two, maybe there is also career distractions. Focusing too much on your career, too much on your work. I think your child should become your main focus and everything else should be secondary. So when your child becomes that main focus, and when you're determined to raise a masterpiece, you raise a masterpiece. Afterwards, if your child, you're the potter. So when you are focusing on really creating that excellent pot, then you have an excellent pot. Now, if you don't focus on creating an excellent pot, and that pot becomes distorted, then who do you blame? Only yourself. There are external factors over which you have no control. I know that. But then if your home and your parenting skills are good, then you're going to raise a child who can withstand all the pressures that assault the child externally. Because your home has become a very safe, loving home. You have become your child's best friend. And with that, you've given your child so much of security. You're raising a very brave child. you're raising a very emotionally secure child. You're raising a child who's unafraid to take risks. And so I tell parents, let your child be your first priority. Everything else comes second. Your career, your friends, your digital world, your amusement, that comes second. I mean, I'm not saying sacrifice it, don't sacrifice it. But your child,
especially during the first couple of years, up to the age of 5.
Especially up till the age of 10. Up till the age of 10.
That's true.
It's very, very important to make sure that you focus on your parenting skills. So that's what I would like to tell parents, because it's a really win-win situation for everybody if they pay attention to this.
So, I mean, that brings us to the end of this conversation. It was an amazing insights what you have given us to. I mean, there are thousands of parents who are going to be watching this video on our Facebook community and also on YouTube and other social media platforms. I'm looking forward to have more sessions from you. In fact, whenever we announce that Dr. Lalitha Appachu is going to be doing our next session, invariably the percentage of attendance goes up by almost about 70 to 80%.
Okay.
So in fact, with your permission, looking forward to a lot more sessions. I mean, I don't want to, I mean, the kind of knowledge and insights what you have in this domain, unfortunately, I feel that only the schools have been making use of it till now.
No. These days schools also, that's where you're mistaken. These days schools also are focusing on parenting workshops, because they find that when they actually have these workshops for parents, they find that children are more disciplined and less disturbed.
Exactly.
So it's becoming more popular.
There is no way that parents can only do away with the schooling. Parenting has to be the first priority as well. Of course,
very
major
important,
role, and which every parent is feeling now because of the COVID and the pandemic and the lockdown. All of us have started feeling that yes, what is the importance of schools as well? It's difficult to manage the children from monitoring and keep them engaged, but nevertheless, parenting also plays a major role in upbringing of the child. With that, I'll end this conversation with you, ma'am. It's amazing to have you on our platform. Looking forward to many more years of association with you, and I want you to come in our platform and throw us with your knowledge and insights. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to many more years of association. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.